Hello, my sweet reader friends. I am so excited to be doing this video again. Honestly, the TBR jar has become like my favorite thing to do every month, as I've only done it for literally 1 month so far, but I've been so excited to do this again because it's so fun. It feels like a game. I mean, it kind of is a game, and it's always fun because I don't know what my TBR is gonna be like for each month because I don't pick it like the jar does, so it's just a really fun experience, and I've been having such a great time with it. But obviously by the title, we will be picking my February TBR in today's video. Back in December, I made this cute little TBR jar, and I have quite a few. It doesn't really look like I have very many prompts, but I cut out quite a few prompts, and a lot of them are really random ones that I kind of just thought up on a whim. Like, I don't know. I looked up some, but I started looking at books on my shelves and I was like, what's a really weird and specific like prompt that I could do like for these specific books or these specific like types of books? I don't know. It was just a lot of fun and I've been looking forward to it ever since. I might think of some other type of game or something to do throughout the month because I hate that I can only do this once a month. Like, I want to do other like fun reading games. I don't know. That's beside the point, and maybe I'll do that this month. I don't know. But I'm just gonna hop right into it because I am obviously very excited, like I've said a million times already. I did pretty good with my January TBR. I read, I think, 3 or 4 books off of my January TBR, and I had, I think, 8 or 9 books on my TBR. So that's actually a lot better than I've like ever done in the past for like following a TBR. So very proud of myself for that one. Now, going into February's TBR. Gotta shake up the jar. Okay, our first, I almost just got my hand stuck. That was fun. Our first prompt is a debut novel. Oh, this is gonna be hard. I have to look up which ones are debut novels. Oh, okay. I think I might have one for this. Let me just double check that this is actually a debut novel. I just looked up debut novels of 2023 on Google, and one of these popped up, so. Oh, this has really bad reviews. Yeah, I think this is a debut novel because she doesn't have any other books, so. Okay, well, that is The House in the Pines by Anna Reyes. Okay, wait, I actually have 2 debut novels on my shelf. So I have The House in the Pines, which is an adult thriller, and then I also have The Bandit Queens, which is also, I think, an adult like mystery thriller, but this one's more of like a funny mystery thriller, I think. So I looked this one up and it has really bad reviews, and I don't want that to like stop me from choosing this one, but I also don't really, I feel like I'm just not really in the mood to be experimenting with books I might and probably won't like very much. You know, like I feel like right now I don't have the attention span to really like spend on books like that. So this one's a maybe. It is a Reese's Book Club book though, so I am interested to see if it's one of those books that has just very like people either like it or they hate it type of deal, or I don't know, but I'm intrigued. But The Bandit Queens, I've had that one on my shelf for a while. Well, on my shelf, it's on my Kindle, so I've had it on my Kindle for a while, and it's one that I have always thought about in the back of my head but have never actually just like jumped the gun and started. But it sounds really interesting. It says, Geeta's no good husband disappeared 5 years ago. She didn't kill him, but everybody thinks she did, no matter how much she protests. But she soon discovers that being known as a self-made widow has some surprising perks. No one messes with her, no one threatens her, and no one tries to control marry her. It's even been good for her business. No one wants to risk getting on her bad side by not buying her jewelry. Freedom must look good on Geeta because other women in the village have started asking for her help to get rid of their own no-good husbands, but not all of them are asking nicely. Now that Geeta's fearsome reputation has become a double-edged sword, she must decide how far to go to protect it, along with the life she's built, because even the best laid plans of would-be widows tend to go awry. It just sounds fun. It kind of reminds me, honestly, of Finley Donovan, but a little bit different, but just like the same kind of vibes. And then this one says, Maya was a high school senior when her best friend Aubrey dropped dead in front of the enigmatic man named Frank, whom they'd been spending time with all summer. 7 years later, Maya lives in Boston with a loving boyfriend and is kicking the secret addiction that has allowed her to cope with what happened years ago, the gaps in her memories, and the lost time that she can't account for. But her past comes rushing back when she comes across a recent YouTube video in which a young woman suddenly keels over and dies in a diner while sitting across from none other than Frank. Plunged into the trauma that has defined her life, Maya heads to her Berkshire's hometown to relive that fateful summer, the influence Frank once had on her, and the obsessive jealousy that nearly destroyed her friendship with Aubrey. At her mother's house, she excavates fragments of her past and notices hidden messages in her deceased Guatemalan father's book that didn't stand out to her earlier. To save herself, she must understand a story written before she was born. But time keeps running out, and soon all roads are leading back to Frank's cabin. This one, I feel like, I have a weird feeling that it might make me feel a little bit icky. So I think I'm gonna put this one off for now, and I'm going to choose the Bandit Queens. I think I'm actually honestly in the mood for that one too, because I've been in the mood for something that's still kind of mystery thriller-esque, but is just like kind of more funny and lighthearted, if that makes sense. So I think, yes, I'm gonna choose the Bandit Queens for my debut novel. Wow, that took a long time to choose that. Anyway, okay, so my next prompt is a book with a pretty cover. Ooh, this is exciting. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do like 7 books for this month's TBR because I have been reading a little bit slower lately because I've just been really busy with life. So 7, okay, book with a pretty cover. I'm looking over here because my priority TBR is over there and then my just like normal TBR is behind me. So on my priority TBR, I think I have to do this one. I think I'm gonna do Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies because A, I've been wanting to read this one for a while, but B, I think this has one of the most beautiful covers I have ever seen. Like the mushrooms, the plants, the flowers, the font, the colors, everything I just absolutely love so much. So that was an easy pick. Next prompt is, if I could get it out, books about books. I have a few that come to mind. Books about books. I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, actually, I could do 2 different books for this one. The first one that came to mind was Sorcery of Thorns because this one is kind of about like a library. So it's like kind of about books, I guess. But the other one that I was also thinking that I could do is the second book in the Inkheart trilogy, which is Inkspell. These were my childhood like favorite books, and I haven't read this literally since I was probably like 8 to 10 years old. So I don't know, I think that would be really fun to jump back into. But I've also been wanting to read Sorcery of Thorns for so long. Honestly, I might just like put both of them on my TBR and then whatever one I get to is the one I'll get to. Is that cheating? I don't know. I literally can't choose. I can't choose. And since one's a middle grade and one's like a young adult, I honestly think I might just put both of them on my TBR and then whatever one I get to is the one I'll get to. Okay, my next prompt. So I guess I'll have 8 books then in my February TBR if I'm doing both of these for that one prompt. I don't know. Okay, my next prompt is a rom-com. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, so the 2 that I'm thinking of are Catherine Center's The Bodyguard and Lynn Painter's Better Than the Movies. I don't know if this is really considered like a rom-com, but like I think it is. So these are the 2 that I'm thinking of, and I don't know which one I want to pick. Because I've heard amazing things about both of them, but this one I feel like so many of you have told me to read. You know what, now that I'm reading the synopsis of this, I think this is like a rom-com. Like my brain wants to choose this one, but I really want to read this one. Okay, I think I'm gonna do The Bodyguard because I kind of want to save Better Than the Movies for spring. I know there's like no logic in that, but in my brain it makes sense. So I think I'm going to do Catherine Center's The Bodyguard. Ah, what the heck? I don't know what happened to this, but that is not okay. This book is freaking beat up. I did get it off Book Outlet though, so that would make sense. So it's about some famous guy and he has a bodyguard, which is that girl. He has to go back home because of like a family tragedy or something, but he doesn't want his family to know why he needs a bodyguard, which is because of, I guess, some stalker or something. So they do like pretend dating. So she pretends to be like his girlfriend when they go home to his house. That's all I really know. But it sounds really interesting. I've heard really good things about it. I've been wanting to get into Catherine Center's writing for a while. So here we are. This is the one we're choosing. Better Than the Movies I will get to probably in March. Okie dokie. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 prompts, 5 books. Okay, so let's do, 2 or 3 more prompts, depending on what books I choose. So my next one is something that will make me giggle. I mean, I just picked a rom-com, but I feel like I have so many books on my Kindle and I always forget that I have them. And I feel like there's one that I've been wanting to read that is like a funnier one. So let me go see. Okay, for this one, I think I'm going to do Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. I think this is kind of like a funnier, like murder mystery. Like, I don't know if it's a murder mystery, but it's like a funnier mystery thriller type of book. It's been on my list for a very long time, like the rest of them. And I think it's just time to get to this one. I think it's gonna make me giggle, and I am, like I said, I am in the mood for something that is like mysterious but also kind of funny. Because I don't know, I feel like lately I've been in a mystery thriller mood, but whenever I try to pick up a thriller, I've just been feeling really like icky and dark and weird and twisty, and I just don't like it. So an entertaining mystery thriller type of book would be perfect right now. The synopsis of this one says, everyone in my family has killed someone. Some of us, the high achievers, have killed more than once. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but it's the truth. Some of us are good, some of us are bad, and some just unfortunate. I'm Ernest Cunningham. Call me Ern or Ernie. I wish I'd killed whoever decided our family reunion should be at a ski resort, but it's a little more complicated than that. Have I killed someone? Yes, I have. Who was it? Let's get started. Everyone in my family has killed someone. My brother, my stepsister, my wife, my father, my mother, my sister-in-law, my uncle, my stepfather, my aunt, me. I don't know. So I don't really know like what this book is gonna be about, but it just sounds funny and like it would make me laugh, so there's that. Okay, let's choose 2 more prompts. I said I wanted to have a shorter TBR for February, yet I'm literally picking like the same amount of books that I would pick for any other month. My next one is a mystery. I feel like I'm literally getting the same prompt or prompts that I could use on literally every single one of these books. But actually for this one, I have been in the mood for a Jennifer Lynn Barnes book, and I have 2 that I've been really wanting to read lately, and that is The Lovely and the Lost and Little White Lies. So I have both of these. I don't know which one I'm more in the mood for. I want to say that this one is the one that I would probably want more than this. I feel like this one is more, and I don't know, logically this makes no sense, but this just like feels more like a spring book, and maybe it's just because it's like a light blue color. I don't know, but I think I'm gonna do this one. This one's about a girl, I believe she was adopted, and I think she was also like found somewhere like in the woods or something. And then so this family that she gets adopted into has a business of like search and rescue dogs. And then so she goes and helps on some search and rescue that they're doing. And I think like a lot of things start to like come up for her, and like some memories and things, like things just aren't really adding up, and something about like the family that she got adopted into. I don't know. It's just a lot of crazy things. It's Jennifer Lynn Barnes, so like literally she can do no wrong. I'm very much looking forward to it. And I think it's going to feed my mystery desires without being too icky and dark and twisty, you know? Okay, let's choose, what did I say? 2 more? Okay, I don't know where I'm at with my numbers, but I'm gonna choose 1 more prompt. So let's see what that ends up being. On your shelf for over a year. I was about to say I literally don't even know like what books I've had for over a year, but then I looked at my shelf and I looked at this one that I've been telling myself that I'm going to read literally since I started reading again back in, I think, March of 2022. And that book, my friends, is The 10,000 Doors of January. I've been telling myself, this was like one of the first books that I purchased like when I started reading again for fun, and I still for some reason have not gotten to it, and I'm not betting that I'm going to actually read this month because, like I said, I've been telling myself for so long that I'm going to, and then I don't. But I'm going to make it my mission to read this book this month. So the little synopsis on the back says, as the ward of the wealthy Mr. Locke, January Scholar feels little different from the artifacts that decorate his sprawling mansion. Carefully maintained, largely ignored, and utterly out of place. But when she finds a strange book, one that tells a tale of secret doors, love, adventure, and danger, for the first time, January realizes she can escape her story and sneak into someone else's. So I guess this could technically be a book about books as well. Huh. Anyway, this is another one of the books. I could have done this for like a pretty cover book too, because I think that this cover is just absolutely gorgeous. Like, honestly, look at that. It's so springy. The flowers, the gold doorknob, like it's so beautiful. I'm very excited. Okay, so far I have 8 books, but technically 7 because I have 2 books for 1 prompt because I literally cannot choose between the two. Actually, you know what? That's a lie. I'm not gonna do Inkspell. I think I'm gonna save Inkspell for spring and then do Sorcery of Thorns. I feel better about that. I really want to read Inkspell, but it's it's like over 600 pages, so I don't think that I'm going to be in the mood for that, to be honest. So the 7 books that I have for February are: for On My Shelf for Over a Year, we have The 10,000 Doors of January. For a debut novel, we have The Bandit Queens. For something that will make me giggle, I chose Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. For a rom-com, I have Catherine Senner's The Bodyguard. For a book with a pretty cover, we chose the Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. For books about books, we chose Sorcery of Thorns. That was a hard choice. And then for a mystery, we have The Lovely and the Lost. I think that that's a pretty solid February TBR. And I think it also will be fun because with having a rom-com, I think that'll be really nice around Valentine's Day. So I am currently in the middle of one book. And then after that, I honestly think I might pick up The Lovely and the Lost first because I am in the mood for a mystery. We'll just see if it kind of starts to make me feel a little bit dark and twisty and icky. But because it's Jennifer Lynn Barnes, I highly doubt it will. You just never know. This is a good TBR, friends. I'm so excited. Thank you for coming to my monthly TBR jar picks my reads. I will update you guys if I find like another fun like bookish game to do. I don't even know like what I would do, but I'll do some research and see like if there's anything else that I can do that would be, I don't know, fun. But let me know if we have any of the same books on our monthly TBR, and let me know also what you are reading for February so I have some fun books to maybe add to my TBR. Not that I need to, but because it's fun and I always like to. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah!